The news headline: 3 days to Kanu'S trial, Attorney Ugwuonye makes another disturbing revelation about Ifeanyi Ejiofor. You're welcome to the news. Please listen to the details. Harvard-trained attorney and founder of Due Process Advocates, DPA, has made another shocking revelation about barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the lead counsel to the embattled leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. The duo have been enmeshed in a running battle after attorney Emeka Ugwuonye, in a report, revealed that Ejiofor was implicated in a serious case of fraud, forgery, criminal breach of trust by the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC. Though Mr. Ejiofor, who has failed to openly refute or deny the report of Emeka Ugwuonye with verifiable facts in a statement he personally signed, described the entire report as evil, wicked, malicious, urging his supporters to disregard it, as there is no truth in it. Despite Mr. Ejiofor's statement, the Harvard-trained legal expert has bluntly maintained his ground, adding that his report about barrister Ejiofor is true and can be verified in the law courts. However, 3 days to the commencement of Nnamdi Kanu's trial, Emeka Ugwuonye, in another report, has revealed a disturbing secret which has thrown so many members of the separatist movement into a state of confusion. The human rights attorney in the report accused Mr. Ejiofor of working for the government on the day he walked out of the court in protests over the refusal of DSS to allow Mr. Bruce Finn into the courtroom. He said, "I would like to reveal something that will shock every IPOB members reading it." On November 10, 2021, during a scheduled trial of Nnamdi Kanu, barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, as the lead counsel, walked out of the court in protest over the refusal of DSS to allow Mr. Bruce Finn into the courtroom. Do you know why? It was not really for the reasons Ejiofor wanted you to believe. The walkout was planned against Nnamdi Kanu. It was an arrangement. Ejiofor agreed to do something dramatic to prevent the trial from going forward that day. The walking out was so deliberately planned that Ejiofor had to take the wig of Aloy Ejimakor as he was leaving the court. That was to prevent Ejimakor, who was not part of the conspiracy, from staying behind after Ejiofor left the court. That is, to make sure that Ejimakor did not stay behind. Ejiofor snatched Ejimakor's wig and left the court with it. Ejimakor had no choice but to leave the court too, as he could not address the court without a wig on. If Ejimakor would be free to talk about this, he will admit that he left the court with Ejiofor because Ejiofor took Ejimakor's wig as he was leaving the court. No lawyer in Nigeria or anywhere else in the world will tell you any single benefit that Nnamdi Kanu could have gained from his lawyers walking out of court. I have asked myself this question 1 million times. How could walking out of court help Nnamdi Kanu's case? No how. There is absolutely zero benefit to Nnamdi Kanu. Then why did Ejiofor do that? Also, you can flip the question and ask, was there anything Nnamdi Kanu lost from the walking out? The answer is yes. For one, it was to delay his trial by 2 months. The next question you would ask is, was there any good reason for Ejiofor to walk out of court on that day? The answer is no. There was no good reason. Ejiofor, the lead counsel, was allowed into the court. He was the only one to address the court. If other lawyers did not come in, it would not make any difference to the proceedings of the day. He only needed to complain to the court that his team members were not allowed inside the court. But above all, Bruce Finn was only there as an observer. He was not going to address the court. His absence from the court was not a fundamental issue. It was not a sufficient basis to derail the entire trial and leave Nnamdi Kanu stranded in court. When Ejiofor executed this drama, which was his role in the script, the court asked Nnamdi if he would take on his own defense, which Nnamdi declined. Then the court adjourned the case till January 19, 2 months and 9 days long for a man in detention. It was so clear that the walking out of court was something immediately harmful to Nnamdi Kanu. Any lawyer will tell you so. That was what Ejiofor wanted to achieve. He must have been in an agreement to delay the trial. That was what he was told to do by those he is serving their interests. Every lawyer knows that when a court as in an open court, adjourned a case to a future date, the court cannot bring the date forward without the agreement of lawyers on both sides. So, for the court to bring the case from January 19, 2022 forward to December 2021, the DSS lawyers had to agree. Why would DSS lawyers agree to help Nnamdi Kanu by bringing the date forward to December when the court already fixed it for January? Why could Ejiofor have been told to abort the trial on November 10th? There are a number of hypotheses. The most compelling one was because he knew that the DSS were coming up with additional charges, which would have the effect of dragging the trial and keeping Nnamdi Kanu in detention for a longer period. DSS were supposed to have filed these additional charges few days before November 10. The human rights activist Ugwuonye came up with another reason why Ifeanyi Ejiofor should be sacked or should leave as the lead counsel of Nnamdi Kanu 3 days to Kanu's trial. He saying Ifeanyi Ejiofor is working with the federal government in keeping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the custody of the DSS. We have come to the end of the news. Have a blessed day.